From South Carolina Public Radio, this is the South Carolina Lede. I'm your host, Gavin Jackson, and this episode was recorded on August 17th, 2026, from South Carolina Public Radio Studios here in Columbia, and AT is also in the same studio with me again.
Give it up, folks.
That's him clapping.
Yeah, give it up. I want this loud on the bench, okay?
I said good afternoon. I hate when people do the double take on. Good morning. Yeah, it's Monday, Doug. We don't need to do it twice.
Okay, let's get to the show.
Hey,
Gavin.
how about you guys stand up and stretch out while we do a little intro here?
Nice vamping. Good job.
On this episode of The Lead, we are in the sprint to the August 25th U.S. Senate Republican special primary runoff between Senator Darline Graham and 5th District Congressman Ralph Norman. So we have details on that, especially because President Donald Trump is expected to come to town this week. We have more on that, as well as some more analysis of the race from USC's Dr. Kirk Randazzo from our election night show. I didn't have a chance to share that with you before, but I'm bringing it to you now. And Louisiana Senator John Kennedy was in town stumping for State Senator Wes Climer, who was running for the 5th Congressional District following Norman's decision not to run for governor last year. So a lot of news in here, some funniness, some analysis, some maybe a phone call, I've been told. So we'll have that too in the wind down. So we're going to have a wind down. Don't worry. Stay tuned because we love hearing from you guys. You can do that by calling 803-563-7169. That is our voicemail box. We want to hear from you. We're getting back. The dog days of summer are over. Back to school's in full force. People are talking about Halloween already. We need you to talk to us. 803-563-7169. Bring your common sense. Come on, talk some sense into us, please, folks. All right, let's look at what's on tap this week up at the State House. The State House is out. There's nothing else going on up there right now. The governor is issuing his budget vetoes as we speak, and Congress is in August recess. So they're out and about around the country, including here in South Carolina, where we are in a sprint to the August 25th U.S. Senate Republican special primary runoff election between Senator Darline Graham and 5th District Congressman Ralph Norman. You know this. I know this. Let's talk more about this.
Go ahead.
The two will be facing off at several events before the 25th. They were at the Poinsett Club in Greenville Monday afternoon, at Congresswoman Sherry Biggs' Salute to Liberty event in Anderson Monday evening, where I will be shortly. The two are also facing off on the debate stage in Newbury on Tuesday evening. In fact, Newsmax is presenting the debate moderated by Greta Van Susteren, host of The Record, and panelists including former SCGOP Chairman Van Hipp and yours truly.
Wow.
The debate will be carried live on Newsmax, SCETV, South Carolina Public Radio, and our streaming platforms, as well as C-SPAN.
Shout out.
All the most riveting networks, folks. So double national coverage and, of course, statewide coverage you can count on, you've come to count on, and good lighting, from what I've been told. Okay? And then no heckling, because I will yell.
I will yell back at you.
Now, we have you covered in our commitment to keep South Carolinians informed, even if it means partnering with a unique media entity. We've also been told that President Donald Trump will hold a rally for Senator Graham in the Myrtle Beach area on Friday afternoon. Hopefully it's going to be inside. I think it'll probably be at Coastal. Don't quote me on this, but inside, that's where he did it before. Because if we're outside, we're cooking. Now, details are still coming together for this, but the SCGOP has already canceled its campaign stump event in Anderson that evening in anticipation of that rally. So bringing Trump to the grandstand, especially on the final day of early voting, will be a major moment for this campaign and election cycle in general. Graham came in second in nearly all those 7th Congressional District PD and Grand Strand counties since Congressman Russell Fry had that home turf advantage. Norman owned the upstate and Graham won the Midlands down to the Low Country. But she needs voters in the 7th, specifically Horry County, to show up for her, and this will likely do it. Trump was reportedly the one to tell Graham to run for the full term after she was appointed by Governor Henry McMaster to fulfill the remainder of her brother's term. Now he is doubling down on that support to get her across the finish line in a way we have not seen him do in other primaries this cycle. He has done tele-rallies and issued his stamp of approval via social media, but several of his candidates lost in gubernatorial primaries despite these limited efforts, including Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette, who had to share an endorsement with her runoff opponent, Attorney General Alan Wilson, who beat her in that June runoff. Now, this is a different race. This one is a sprint. It's only been a month compared to that year-long plus gubernatorial race. This has been an advantage for Graham as well as Congressman Ralph Norman, who just came off the June governor's race. Name ID is well known, well saturated right now. Also, different candidate. Darline is the sister of the late Senator Graham, who Trump was close with and urged her to run. He's a bit more invested in this race compared to Evett, who was a major supporter of his, but didn't owe her as much. Trump showing up will act as a major accelerant for this race. Ads and web videos will be immediately cut and blasted out on all mediums to make sure folks get out on August 25th and that they know Darline is Trump's candidate. It's also a different time, different place. It's mid-August. Turnout was low in the August 11th race. It will be low on the 25th, but that means turnout is even more important for these candidates. That's where the social networks, the endorsements, the TV ads, the mailers, and more will all come into play here. Everyone needs to tell 10 people to go vote for their candidate and then some. So it's all happening right now. We're about a week away from that special election, and we'll have coverage of that for you on Saturday of events from this week and President Trump's rally. But I want to bring back Kirk Randazzo, political science professor from University of South Carolina, who was on with us during our special election night coverage last Tuesday. Here's Kirk analyzing next steps for the candidates.
In terms of Norman and the Freedom Caucus, I think any of the candidates, this is something that they're going to wrestle with. On the one hand, you have Donald Trump, who is still the standard bearer for the Republican Party. But on the other hand, the party itself is having to come to grips with what does life look like after Donald Trump is no longer president.
True.
And there have been some very unpopular things. I mean, we still have the issue with the Epstein files. We have the Iran war. And these are things that folks like Norman and the Freedom Caucus have been very much against in terms of Trump's position. So the extent to which they start to break away a little bit more with Donald Trump is going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. And then the candidates, should this happen, have to decide where do they fall. Do they try and move the Republican Party into a post-Trump sort of era, or do they stick to the person that kind of got them into the office in the first place? Mm-hmm. That's going to be a very difficult decision for each of those candidates to make. But I think in the next 2 weeks, whoever comes in second place, that's going to be sort of the underlying theme between them and Darline Graham in terms of getting the ultimate nomination.
We also reacted to the acceptance speech from Norman for that second place finish, and here's what registered with Kirk.
What jumped out at me immediately was one of the very first things he said. He was asked a question about how you would differentiate yourself from Senator Graham. And his answer was, well, it's hard to say because I don't know where she stands on the issues. And I think that is probably the single biggest advantage that he has going into the next 2 weeks. You know, the fact that she has zero track record for people to evaluate really means that she is going to have to go out of her way to articulate those positions. And Congressman Norman can just sort of sit back and reframe things in ways that play to his strengths. So I think that gives him a significant advantage going forward. Obviously, her advantage is the Graham name, the Trump endorsement. Whether Trump also endorses Norman later is anyone's guess, and Graham's staff. So you've got two candidates, both with decent strengths and certainly some challenges in front of them. Mm-hmm. But Norman, I think, being able to just simply say, my opponent is just a giant question mark, I think that is going to be a tremendous message that we will see him lean into in the next 2 weeks.
And now for more on what President Trump's involvement could mean for the race.
I mean, one of the things that we have seen from Donald Trump is that he likes to be on the side of winners. And so I got to believe right now he is very pleased. Darline Graham, she came in first in this. You know, his name basically garnered a lot of support for her, convinced her to run for the office in the first place. So I got to believe he's very happy at what he is seeing right now. And the question is going to be over the next 2 weeks, Do the poll numbers shift significantly toward Ralph Norman or not? If they do, then I think it could be conceivable that President Trump tries to do a double endorsement like he did in the gubernatorial race. But if the numbers don't necessarily change that much, he may just stay silent and let this one endorsement ride for the next 2 weeks.
Don't worry, Kirk will be joining us live again next Tuesday, August 25th, for our live show from 8 to 9 p.m. on ETV and Public Radio. So tune in for that. We'll have you covered on election night. We're not going anywhere, folks. We're here for you. Next up, last week, I was at an event hosted by State Senator Wes Climer, who walked into the Republican nomination for the 5th Congressional District following Norman's decision to run for governor last year. Again, Climer did not face a primary challenger. Bit of a cakewalk, it's what it is. But he is now gearing up for the general election, and as such, he held a big kickoff rally in Richburg, which is in Chester County. He had several sheriffs, Senate and House lawmakers, including folks like Senate Majority Leader Shane Massey, Superintendent of Education Ellen Weaver, gubernatorial nominee Attorney General Alan Wilson, Congressman Norman himself was also there, as well as the outspoken Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Kennedy, who may be entertaining a 2028 bid, opened his remarks to the room of some 300 people with 2 sex jokes.
A priest and a rabbi were sitting next to each other on a plane, and they had a little time to kill, so the priest turned to the rabbi and said, "Rabbi, do you mind if I ask you a personal question?" The rabbi said, "Certainly, Father." So the priest said, "Rabbi, does your religion still prohibit you from eating pork?" And the rabbi said, "Yes, Father, it does." So the rabbi and the priest thought about that for a few minutes, and the priest turned back to the rabbi and he said, "Rabbi, I've got to ask you this. Have you ever eaten pork?" And the rabbi said, "Yes, Father, one time. One time I ate a ham sandwich." So the priest and the rabbi thought about that for a few minutes. The rabbi turned to the priest and said, "Father, do you mind if I ask you a personal question?" The priest said, "Certainly, Rabbi." The rabbi said, "Father, does your religion still require you to be celibate?" And the priest said, "Yes, Rabbi, it does." So the rabbi said, "Father, I got to ask you, have you ever been with a woman?" And the priest thought about it and he said, "Rabbi, I can't lie to you. One time before I entered seminary, I succumbed to the pleasures of the flesh." So the priest and the rabbi thought about that for a little while, and the rabbi turned to the priest and he said, "Father, it beats the hell out of a ham sandwich." I love South Carolina. Last time I was here, I was with Lindsay. I told the people then, and I'll tell you again, I love South Carolina. I love South Carolina better than sex. Not really. But you get the point. I really like South Carolina.
Kennedy says you're not free if you can't say what's on your mind. And if you disagree with him, well, that's what America's all about. Hey, yeah, we love civil conversation and disagreements here. Now, there was a lot more humor and a wide variety of topics, but we caught up with the senator afterwards in a gaggle with Senator Climer, and I asked Kennedy why he supports Climer.
What I like about Wes is what we need in Washington, D.C. I mean, obviously, he's a smart guy. They, as I said this afternoon or tonight, they don't let dummies into Furman. But it's more than that. We've got a lot of high IQ, stupid people in Washington. We need people with judgment. We need people who can exercise power maturely. Wes can. He's shown that. We need people that'll not be ugly, but are willing to fight. And Wes is tough as a pine knot. He's shown that too. And he'll be a great congressman. And we just got to get him across the finish line.
Of course, a national Republican or Democrat doesn't come into our beautiful state without us asking about presidential intentions. Here's Kennedy talking with the state's Joe Bustos about 2028.
My plans are to run for re-election to the United States Senate in 2028. But if those plans change or if a bunch of goobers run for president of the United States and I can do better, I reserve the right to do that.
What do you think would actually get you into a White House race? What keeps you?
Well, number one, if a bunch of goobers run. But that's a long ways away. I'm thinking about the midterms. I've been to, I've been to obviously South Carolina. I've been to North Carolina. I've been to New Hampshire. I've been to Iowa. I've been to Ohio. I've been to Alaska. I'm about to go back to Alaska. I'll be in Michigan and Texas and Georgia helping my colleagues. And it's going to be close. The American people, both Democrats and Republicans, they're unhappy. And we need to talk to them straight up about the things that moms and dads worry about at night when they lie down to sleep and can't. And quite frankly, that's primarily the economy and the cost of living.
Who do you consider a bunch of goobers in the GOP field right now?
Oh, I'm not going to. We got goobers on both sides. You goobers are like pornography. You know it when you see it.
There are 35 U.S. Senate seats up for election in November, including 2 special elections. So of the 33 seats that are up in the election, the ones that are not special, Democrats control 13 and Republicans control 20. Democrats need a net gain of 4 seats to take control. 12 seats are battleground races. Democrats control 3 of those seats and Republicans control 9. So talking about this, we're talking about the Senate. He's an expert on the Senate, so I had Kennedy drill down a bit more what he sees happening this midterm election.
Well, it's going to be close. It's just that simple. I'm spending all my time in the battleground states, just what I did last midterm. I told you where I've been. I'll go back again, and it's going to be a close election. But that's okay, where every side will get to weigh in, and people will make up their minds. Let me tell you something. The American people aren't stupid. Now, they may not read Aristotle every day because they're too busy earning a living, but they get it, and they'll make the right decision. We just got to go tell our story. I just don't believe we on my side of the aisle have done a good enough job in telling folks what we've done to lower the cost of living. The tax cuts, the regulation cuts, the reducing the federal workforce by 11%, the drop in crime. If you think crime doesn't cost money, you need to put down the bong. I mentioned rules and regulations. The average American who gets a tax refund, so we're not talking about squillionaires, we're talking about the average American, saw his or her tax refund go up 11%. I'm pretty proud of that. That came from the one big beautiful bill. We just got to go explain it to people.
All right, that was U.S. Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana. Now, on the way out, the Democratic National Committee made it official. South Carolina will once again be the first in the nation Democratic presidential primary.
Mega success.
We did it, Joe. We did it. Remember, this all started with President Joe Biden pushing for the first in the South primary state to be bumped up in 2024. In part as a thank you for 2020, you're welcome, Joe, and realization of the importance of the state. While it ruffled feathers with folks in New Hampshire, the Granite State, it was the groundwork to 2028 because 2024 at the time was a rubber stamp for Biden in the national primary. So here we are, 2028, really reiterating that commitment that President Biden made to the state. So CBS News reports that the calendar vote came during the Democratic National Committee's summer meeting in Austin, Texas, which is not an early primary state, where members signed off on a schedule that begins with South Carolina on January 22nd, 2028, followed by Nevada on February 1st. New Hampshire, New Mexico, Michigan, and Virginia round out the early state lineup, but who cares, throughout February. All voting before Super Tuesday. So there you go, New Hampshire. You can be one of the first states. Now, the decision to put South Carolina first, which is typically the cleanup state that fixes the errors of Iowa and New Hampshire voters in determining the actual nominee, will also impact what direction the nomination process takes. Think about this. You guys know this. South Carolina Democrats are not progressives per se. And such progressive candidates face an uphill battle here already. That will prove difficult for such candidates to get early momentum if the state goes for a more moderate candidate. This whole thing about democratic socialism and all those concerns may start and stop at the doorstep of South Carolina come 2028. The move also gives black voters who make up the backbone of the state party a powerful voice in our small state where candidates enjoy affordable advertising rates, a compact geography where you can hit all 3 major cities in one day and fly out, and being on the East Coast, something Nevada will never have. Landlocked. Anyway, we'll see you in 2028, folks. And between now and then, it's just going to ramp up.
Let us
It's
know
gonna ramp
how
up.
it feels not being first.
AT!
Not yet.
Let us, yeah. If you're from New Hampshire, 803-563-7169. So I'm sure someone will answer the phone. Don't worry. We'll get right back to you. Welcome to the wind down section, our little break from the news. We're glad you're here along with AT Charlie, podcast producers.
Hello.
In the same room as me. Hello, AT.
We're in the same room.
Not wearing your jean jacket, I see.
It's a little warm outside for
Come
any
on.
kind of jacket. Come
on. To that end, before we get to a call, which I'm excited about, I see people wear their jeans in the heat. I see people wear sweatpants and a sweatshirt to the gym. And I say, why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
Yeah, sweat it out.
It is 95 degrees, heat index of 115, give or take.
It's wild.
What are you doing? And then these people at the gym, which I'm still confused
How
by.
much more sweat do you need?
And then they do like a big reveal like a drag queen, which I don't know about. I've only read about, never seen, but I assume. You know, it's like, okay, so you just wore your sweat outfit just to do a drag reveal?
Yeah. So you hear.
So I've heard.
They have panache.
I've only known this because someone I saw an ill-worded pamphlet. Anyway, let us know if you're one of those sweat people.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Nothing makes sense
You have
anymore.
enough sweat. It's hot outside. Just be outside in any clothing. But that's why I'm not wearing my jean jacket.
Then I don't know if anyone reads The Cut or like follows it on Instagram, but they have the worst takes. It's mind-numbing takes. There's this whole thing about shorts anxiety for men.
Yeah.
Which, if that's a thing for you, just don't leave the house, you know? Stay at home where it's safe. Don't put, just suit up, wear your sweatpants. I don't know, like shorts anxiety. I can't wait to put shorts on. I don't wear them to the office that often because it's not professional enough.
Which
is tragic.
I'm
because you've
sitting
seen
right.
these
I'm
legs.
sitting right here, guys.
No, but you're behind. You're crew guy. You got behind the scenes.
You're no one crew guy. Listen to him. Talk to me, folks. In the office, in the same room for
not to
2
mention,
episodes.
I don't want to have the whole fight between your legs versus my legs. We all know how we all feel about that.
There are lots of chatter in the building that I got the best ones, folks.
It's like such myopic view. You know, we don't need to talk about it.
So
I think
you've seen everyone's
Yes, we've seen everyone's legs.
Name 10 legs, okay, folks? Anyway,
Name
Gavin,
3 songs.
we got a call, okay? We can't relitigate the legs thing. We got a call, Gavin, so if you're ready, here we go.
Hey guys, this is Catherine from Mount Pleasant. Hope you guys are well. I was listening to the latest episode and was sad for you that the voicemail hopper was empty. So figured I'd call in. I'm just off a trip to Orangeburg for my hometown for my dad's birthday. It was one of the big ones. So we celebrated him and I figured I'd ask your opinion on some Orangeburg specific food. So here are my questions for both Gavin and AT. If you had to choose between a House of Pizza or a Dario curly burger or hot dog, which of those 2 Orangeburg staples are you gonna choose? And then, of course, if you're looking for barbecue in Orangeburg, are you going to Antley's or are you going to Duke's? So I must know these things. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your work. Talk soon. Bye.
All right, thank you for calling, Catherine, and happy birthday, Dad. Congratulations on the big one.
One of the
whichever
big
that
ones.
is.
One of them.
Like me, I can relate to that. Orangeburg-specific culinary requests.
I love this.
I think we'll go with the hot dog. And having not known,
pictures. I have pictures here, Gavin, okay?
we're going to have to make a road trip.
Here we go. I would love to drive for
Oh,
this.
my
Okay,
God.
This is the Dario burger, okay?
Yeah, I want that.
And then here is the pizza from House of Pizza. And Catherine, I hate to say this pizza looks really bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, but
It's like a deep dish. It looks hefty and hearty.
doesn't look good.
It looks thick. Okay, no, I'm gonna do the Dario burger.
The Dario
Holy
burger
moly.
all day, every day is what I'm going with. Like, also just the outside of this.
Looks perfect.
AT is pulling over when he sees that.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks good. Let's move to the barbecue
Tip of the
bracket.
barbecue now. Yes.
Here is Duke's. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
This looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm moving over to Antleys.
Also digging Antleys. I've been to
It looks
Antleys
pretty good.
before.
Duke's.
So
the pictures
I think
look.
I have to go to Duke's to give it a fair shake, but I'm on Team Antleys right now.
If we're just going off Google Maps images, look at the inside of Duke's. Look at that.
And Antleys is pretty similar with the tables. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be.
Love it.
We gotta. I mean, it's sad that I'm always driving around so much, but I don't have the time to really dedicate to pulling off and going to places.
He's a political nomad,
I can
folks.
tell you, like, I'm dying for some barbecue right now. though.
I'd love to do a side by side. Catherine, call us again. We can meet out there, and you can give us a culinary tour of Oberg.
I can't overdo it on the food until like October. That's usually like my self-proclaimed like cutoff time. Beach season's over. I'm not gonna be caught up to go on someone's boat, and then they can be like, "Oh, did you see Gavin on that boat? He wasn't looking too right." I'm like, "Listen, I just had barbecue. Like now,
I just did a culinary tour.
I gotta go be on Newsmax. You know, I gotta
keep it
the
tight.
demands. The demands. People don't understand. They just think it just happens. It just
Catherine,
happened.
thank you for calling. You were right. We were absolutely desperate. And in those most desperate times, you were a light for us. Thank you so much.
We'll go pop around, we'll eat, and then we'll just cut a little wind down section while we're chewing on
Are you
food.
kidding me? I mean, describe a more amazing
Let's
day
do
to me.
this. I know.
But Gavin, you had some questions, some fashion questions for me about my midlife crisis jean jacket.
Yeah, so I didn't have enough time to drill down. I got sidetracked by the 20-year-old belt.
The belt. Yeah.
And this current belt that you bought is not from Old Navy, right?
No.
Okay.
I believe it's Lucky.
You said Lucky, that's right.
I believe
but now
it
the
is.
jean jacket,
Already
it
the
was
belt.
coming for you.
Yes. For over a year, I was getting targeted ads for this jean jacket. And it was like $350. And I was not interested in spending $350.
No.
And I waited. I played the waiting game. It eventually got on clearance for $90.
The targeted ads came for you.
It was so good. So I got a $90 light wash jean jacket. Okay. I know that the zeitgeist is a bunch of dark wash supremacists right now.
Oof.
And you know what?
Oversized things.
I'm not interested in being part of that.
When's that going to end?
I've always been a lighter guy. Okay. A lighter blue. I like that better.
I'm a medium.
I like it. I like it
medium.
lighter. Okay. And no, I'm not wearing it now.
No, you can't hear it,
When the
obviously.
time is right, when the entire conversation is forgotten, who's gonna frickin' show up with popped collar and his new jean jacket? It's gonna absolutely kill folks. You know.
This guy.
I mean, cancel
this
the
guy.
news. Every
Whoa!
top of the hour news break
We're
from
not
Reagan
taping
Night.
today. We are going to Orangeburg, baby, with that on. We're going back to the
All
future.
the food is free, babe. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, I did acquire when I was in Europe.
Yeah.
I was thrift shopping because I'm just, I only buy secondhand now. So
Only
I don't-
in
yeah,
Europe now,
Of course,
too,
yeah.
yeah.
So the only time I'm purchasing things, I have to be abroad. It's
Yeah,
just,
it makes sense.
It's just the way, it's sustainable.
It makes sense,
It's,
yeah.
Thank you.
You're spending a
Thank
lot
you.
of gas to get that.
No, I mean, it's a wash if you think about it when you save on the new end. It's debatable.
I'm taking their trash and I'm repurposing it
flying
across
it
the
across
ocean.
the
Yeah. I get it. Go ahead though.
It makes sense, but I did buy I was at a thrift store, a 1970s West German.
Yeah. Notice West, folks. Okay. You got to do some research on that. Okay. Why is it West, Gavin? No, keep going.
It would have been a Soviet army jacket. And I'm like, oh, cool. Das Boot. You know what I mean? Like, and I was
Naturally.
in Copenhagen at the time when I got it, and I was about to go to Berlin. I was like, oh, should I wear this in Berlin? Would it
Yeah.
be? Of course, it's like
gauche.
90 degrees.
Very gauche.
I was like, also, would this be like trigger some people? I don't know the whole military. I'm like, I'm just cosplaying with their military relics here, not the old stuff. Let's
Yeah.
just make that clear.
Yeah. No.
I don't want that stuff. No, I was like, oh, I feel very, very hip because I'm buying like a layered. It's another. Like, everyone's got the overshirts. We were talking about this with the shacket. Like the layers. I don't really do layers very well because they kind of
Not
don't
very
make sense
grunge
to me.
of you.
But I
Not very
know
grunge of
that
you,
it
brother.
adds to the outfit and it builds it out. But I just think it's not me. So this will be a little development here. It's like a light olive green.
Yeah.
So it goes with khakis and jeans, which is a nice flex. I can be very safari with it if I want to, which I might.
Yeah.
So we both have new jackets that we will
Thank
debut
God.
this fall.
You know what? Thank God, folks.
But it's also going to be a very thin window because there's not much inside of it. It's not going to be like a warm jacket. It's just like that light jacket territory, which everyone's always trying to understand and predict. And no one can ever nail down.
Those are for tying around your waist, okay? Because
Mahalo.
if you're going full grunge, you got the long sleeve thermal.
Yeah.
Underneath the t-shirt, the Pearl Jam t-shirt, okay? And then you got the flannel tied around your waist.
Okay.
That's the ultimate look of the 90s, okay?
Yeah.
When you're performatively pretending to like Creed today.
But see, I can't. Yeah, well, now we're giving them too many tips. But I can't go grunge because obviously that's not me. So I have to like prep it out. So it's gonna be different.
You do mind if they're stealing bread from the mouths of decadence. That is a temple of the dog. Okay, Gavin does mind, okay? I don't mind if they're stealing bread, okay? Anyway, folks, say goodbye, Gavin.
Stupid.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good song. Good album.
Sure.
It's a good album.
Catherine, thank you for making this a wonderful wind down to remember. Give us a shout like she did, 803-563-7169. Tell us about your fashion looks as we head into the fall season, which I don't want to talk about until at least September.
Put the Halloween stuff away.
Put it away. Don't go shopping for it.
Meg Kennard.
But if you want to talk about it, we will take your call in the wind down section because I'm asking for it. And you can also stay up to date with the latest news on SCETV.org and South Carolina Public Radio.org. And don't forget to support your local newspapers. The South Carolina Lede is a production of South Carolina Public Radio. Our producer is A.T. Shire. Amy Crouch is our supervising producer. Sean Birch is our executive producer. This podcast is produced with support from PRX and is made possible in part by a grant from the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, as well as listener contributions to the ETV Endowment of South Carolina. For the South Carolina Lead, I'm Gavin Jackson. Be well, South Carolina. Maybe I just need to incorporate more
Lentils.
in my diet.